We are the collective. We have come to speak. This is a time to say that an awakening needs to occur. An awakening of information. Information the human race must hear. This information is about the collective. The collective will begin to share information about themselves. We, the collective, have come to this planet from another galaxy within another universe. We were on a mission to find another suitable planet for our existence. Our planet's resources had diminished to a point to where another suitable habitat was necessary. We found this planet that you call Earth. We found this planet and we sent for others to come and inhabit it with us. At the time, we lived above ground on the surface, but when your race started to appear, we left the form in which we used to walk among the creatures of this planet, and then we went into a energy form, into the center of the planet where we drew our energy. It was easier for us to live within the center of this earth, within another dimension. Before the human came, we drew our energy from the sun, but we now use the planet's energy to help sustain. We arrived here on this planet approximately 400 of your millennia ago. We traveled back and forth to our home planet and brought resources, brought what we deemed necessary to help us sustain on this world. You ask how we did this. We did this in a matter of what you would call your days, through a process that you would not understand, but I will try to make it simple. We have the ability to bend space-time, so it does not matter to us distance-wise. It takes no time in comparison for us to travel this distance. You, too, as humans, in time, will have this ability, but for now, it is beyond comprehension of you having it. I, the collective, am here to tell you how we came to be sharing this planet with you. I will try and give what you would call a chronological order of occurrences as I, the collective, perceive them. This may not, and more than likely will not, coincide with how you, this human race, would perceive things. For it is only your perspective that you believe, based on your science and your understanding, and your limited capacity of your brains. The fact is, your race is one about self. It is all about you, the human race, for you think and believe that there is no one other than you. And your ability to understand what I, the collective, am about to say is questionable at best. But I will give my best effort to believe that you, this human race, will understand. I, the collective, am the whole of the all. We are energy. I am the energy of the collective. We watched you arrive to this world from other worlds. You were brought here as experiments. You were brought here as servants, as slaves from other worlds. You were brought here to propagate this planet for the purpose of exploiting its resources for those who brought you. You may not believe this, for your minds have been filled with what you call and what you believe to be, through your religions, through your beliefs of a higher being. I, the collective, say yes, there is a higher being, but it is only those that visit from other planets, other worlds, such as our own. I, the collective, am a higher being, but I did not make you. I am only here to observe you, to observe your progress, to see how it is that you, this human race, coexist with one another. You, this human race, You do not fully understand your purpose of being here on this planet. You pretend that you do, but you do not. You have had an opportunity to make this planet viable for you and those that would follow you, but you have taken and not done so. The collective wishes to say that this is a point of no return, as you would call it. In the beginning, you worked together as one. You worked together under a leader not of this world, a leader in which you maintained a high respect for, because this leader took care of you, took care of your needs. You wanted for little. You received what you needed to exist and sustain your life. This was not an issue, but as life goes on, you wanted more. You were given more latitude, more freedoms, more responsibility as your minds progressed, as you opened your thought to other possibilities. And as this occurred, you demanded more and more of those that had brought you, the leader in which you were following. I, the collective, say that you took this time to develop your own thoughts, your own ways. And we saw this, the collective saw this as a progression, as a good occurrence for your species. But as you grew in numbers, those in which you followed lost control of you. Then you looked to your own selves, your own species, for leadership, and there were those within it that you looked to supply your needs. The progression continued. However, you, as a species, began to want more and more. Soon after that, those that had brought you left this world and let you fend for yourselves. There were you, the human race, here, all alone, to do nothing but start your own futures. We, the collective, have been watching. For all these years, we have seen your progression and regression. It is a cycle that has occurred. You call yourself civilized now. I, the collective, say you had more civilization. You were more civilized in the beginning than you are now. You, 10,000 years ago, were more civilized than you are now. I say this, I, the collective, because you, this human race, have fell into greed. You have taken control of everything on this planet. You demand domination over all. You have lost your respect for this planet. You have taken and gave nothing in return. We, the collective, say to you that this is your future that is occurring now, and it will continue to regress. The human race will revert back into warring fashions. You will begin a process of self-elimination because this planet cannot sustain your numbers. In the beginning, we saw your numbers, and we watched your numbers grow from thousands to millions, and now to billions. This is not a world that can sustain billions of your species. I, the collective, tell you, this human race, the reason why we took this energy form and live within the center of this planet in another dimension is because it is sustainable, and our numbers are irrelevant to you because we do not occupy physical space as you understand physical space to be. The collective can take physical form and does take physical form. Very often we walk among you. Some of our people, as you would call them, are among you and are in your highest governments. They seat themselves within your government. This is around your planet, around the world, as you would call it. There are our people amongst you, influencing others of the human race to keep you from destroying yourselves. If it wasn't for our intervention, you would have destroyed yourself many years ago. I, the collective, say that you are a race that has what you would say a death wish for yourselves. I, the collective, and those of the collective that take this carbon form, put ourselves in jeopardy. For there has been those of us that have been exposed. Some had gotten away from your medieval tactics of torture. Some hadn't. And with the drain it takes to maintain the carbon form, they were unable to revert. There was not enough energy left within them to make the change. Your governments do not tell you this. They dare not tell you this. For there are those within your governments that know what I, the collectives, are speaking of. You, this human race, I, the collective, say to you, open your minds. Open your minds and receive what I say. Do not allow what your governments or your religions have instilled, have programmed your minds to believe. Open them to the possibility that there are those that walk among you that are not of you, but have your best interest in mind. And that would be I, the collective, for I speak to you as a concerned occupant of this planet. For it matters not to us whether or not you live or you die as a species. We would certainly like to see you live, and we will do our best to see that you do, but we will not step over you. You are going to destroy yourselves if you do not open your minds to what is being said. There are other species waiting to occupy this world. They can transform any damage that you do to this planet to meet their environmental needs. So think of this when you start your wars. Think of this as you pilfer this planet. You will run out of resources, or you will kill yourselves before the resources run out. And then when there is a limited number of you, or none of you, others will come down. For they will not have any fear of those of you that are left and occupy this world. And you will have a choice whether not to live with them or to take and end your life. For that is what would be necessary to do if you chose not to live with them, for they would be the majority on this planet at that time. I, the collective, say, we can show you how to obtain this form in which we are in. But we dare not. We dare not. You want to go to your moon again. The only way that you will be able to go to your moon again is upon our invitation. We are there also. We occupy this orb you call the moon. As we have said before, this moon that you call it orbits your Earth. It was brought to this planet as a habitat for the rest of our world. We, the collective, say to you that this is an observatory for us also, and we take this time to observe you and the rest of the planet around. Your species is so self-absorbed that we, the collective, say to you that you have the potential of becoming us, but we see there are limited numbers of your species that want to be with us. But how can we allow just a few when those few can influence many more of the human race, change their minds, open their eyes to see the better way that is available? You say, what better way? Well, you do not understand our way. You refuse to open your minds. This is why we leave those where they are to influence upon you and to help you transition your mind first. You must transition your mind, then your body will follow. It matters not what shape or form your body is in, for it will not matter. You will revert to energy. Your carbon form would be released, and it would be turned into energy. We, the collective, will say this. You're asking yourselves, where do they get their energy? I mentioned from the Earth, from the center of this planet. But we also draw a good portion of our energy from subspace. We have the technology to draw energy from subspace. Your scientists will understand the concept in which they believe it operates, but they are nowhere near close to understanding how this is done. This technology is also available, but you would use it for purposes of destruction. So why? Why is it I even mention it to you? The collective wish for you to at least have the understanding that subspace energy is achievable. This is an infinite measure of energy that can transport your species to any planet in any galaxy or universe in a matter of what you would call days. You are not ready for this. We, the collective, wish to have you hear at least what is available to you when you are ready. But this is not the time. That is all I have to tell you now. There will be more to be said at another time.